Let's go ahead and call this meeting to order at 8 o'clock, Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. We're here to discuss, review, consider 2024 tax exemption applications as per Idaho Code 63602, and we will go through the list of properties that I have listed here. And there's only going to be two of us today because one of the commissioners is ill. So, and are you supposed to be around sick people?
I do my best to not, and I'm not going to the counter, so.
Okay.
We're doing everything we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's say, according to our list, the Shoshone Golf and Tennis. Shoshone Golf and Tennis at 2000 Country Club Road, Kellogg, is saying that the property is not changed. Is our form off there saying the property hasn't changed since 21? 23. Should that say 22? Because we're doing.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be a thing to fix for this.
Actually,
23?
No, because we're mailing it. Yeah, 23.
Should say 23.
I'll be here before.
Okay.
And I think last year we discussed trying to update with more questions and for better verification. I don't know if we ever updated the form or not.
Well, we did. If we did, we missed that one, but I don't remember the other updates. Okay, so they have 1, 2, 3 pieces. They're saying that there's been no change in use on any of them, and I'm trying to remember right. Is this the one we went out and did measurements on last year? I thought
yeah, we did.
One of the golf courses that we had
Both.
gone. Both.
Both.
Okay.
Okay. So there was a portion that they rent for the golf carts. Is that what we were?
Right, on one of the parcels, that's correct.
They do lease out part of.
And the building, part of the building.
Yeah, but we measured that and took that into account, didn't we?
Right, the appraiser did.
The appraiser.
There's an apartment downstairs, and she's taking care of that too.
It's all been taken care of, if I recall right from last year. Okay. So, just gonna go a little slow on this one because it's been a year and I want to make sure we're doing it correctly.
No, this is what we did last year. So, let's start with 2800.
Starting with which? 2800?
Yeah. Okay, partial exemption as follows is what we did last year. All land, part of the clubhouse, partial, that's the next one. So we did part of the clubhouse.
Yeah. So I would see no reason to change this year since we did catch it up last year. Do you see anything that?
We're not aware of anything different from last year.
Okay.
I think we caught up on this one.
Now, did they rent that apartment out down there? Or is that was like the caretakers?
I could not answer that. I don't know if the appraiser came in contact with.
Okay.
And I had heard the word rental in the office, but I don't personally know.
But I thought we had taken that out of the square footage of
You
it.
did.
So the
Okay.
part that they rent has already been taken out.
So it's, okay.
I think we took care of all that last year. Partial exemption, I think that's why it was part of the clubhouse, because we took out the rented part.
Okay.
Okay. So how did they
I mean,
have-
my question is, do we put a percentage here then?
Well, it's really hard for you to put a percentage because the appraiser was there and measured it in square feet. And so I don't know what the actual percentage is. But as far as last year went, the square feet for that part that didn't qualify per the request of the board, she has valued.
Okay.
In addition to the cart storage units that the public can rent from a different person. It's on 3805.
Yeah.
So I would think that we could do exactly what we did last year with the partial exemption of 2,800, all land part of the clubhouse, partial on 3805, part land, all of the maintenance building, and partial for 1,400. I mean, that still makes sense. And do we need a motion on each one of these properties? Is that how we did it last time?
I think that's what we did last time.
Do you see any reason not to just approve it as it was edited last year?
Yes, I don't see any reason on this one. I'm not aware of any changes from what was done last year.
Okay. So are you interested in a motion to approve as per that, what we did last year?
Yeah. I'll move to approve the 3 parcels as they were last year for the Shoshone golf and tennis.
Is that clear enough for you, Sydney? Knowing what we have down for last year with the partial exemptions? Okay, I'll second that. Any discussion?
No.
Further discussion, I should say. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we'll keep the golf course as it was adjusted last year to that, because we did change it last year. Okay, we'll get smoother at this, Terry. We've done a couple things between last year and here. All right, the next next piece would be the West Shoshone Hospital District. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like 9 pieces. And do you have what we did last year on that? Last year we ordered a 100% exemption, and they promised to report any changes to use of the premises. This year they're saying there's not been any change in the use.
Yeah, one's got a partial, and that was the Riverside location. That's right,
That's correct.
because they.
Did they report the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
That 2 of them were being used for their purpose on their side?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how we have it.
So how many units are in there?
3 on that one.
3 units, and 2 are they're. One is rented, and then the other 2 are used for. Okay.
Correct, that's how it was.
Okay, so that's why they've got the partial.
Yes.
Okay, so they're saying there's been no change in use since we did this last year. We gave them that 100% exemption. But down here, we're not doing 100%.
Yeah.
You get two
It's
more.
like we've got several pages here
Partial.
for each property. So we've got couple that are still
All right.
partials.
So we better do it by parcel. Then. All right. Are you okay with keeping it the same as last
Yeah,
year?
for the 25 Jacobs Gulch was 100%.
And do you have any reason not, any evidence to the contrary?
No, that's the hospital, so.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so which one are you
Let's
doing?
see.
25 Jacobs Gulch.
Yeah, that was the hospital location.
But I have 3 of them at 25 Jacobs.
Well, it takes in different parcels, so you need to know what parcels you need to save the parcel.
Yeah. So the parcel ending in 5200 West Shoshone Hospital District, 25 Jacobs Gulch. No change in the use of the property. We did 100% last year. Is there any reason not to do the same?
No.
Okay. 0020 West Shoshone Hospital. Oh, that's a different address. 5250, parcel ending in 5250, which is at 25 Jacobs Gulch. They're requesting 100%. Again, no change in use. Any reason not to go with that? 5250.
Oh, okay. It was on the other side. Yeah, that's okay.
And Terry, speak up if I.
No, I agree. I agree.
Okay. All right. West Shoshone Hospital, parcel 5200. Did we already do that?
Yep.
Okay. West Shoshone Hospital 5530, parcel ending in 5530. They're requesting the 100%. There's been no change in the use. And that's again at 25 Jacobs Gulch.
Yeah.
Right.
That's good.
No
I
change.
agree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. West Shoshone Hospital. This is parcel 2425 on 204 Oregon Street. They do lease part of that one. They're requesting 41%. Last time we gave them the partial exemption. Is there any reason to see any reason for change?
I'm not aware of any changes down there.
They're saying there's no changes. This is 2425. Okay, we gave them the partial exemption last year. They called it 41%. I thought we discussed getting rid of the percentage on these forms.
I know we thought we were going to make some changes
Yeah,
to them.
we were going to, because like my example of across the street, there's different levels with different square feet on each level. So doing that,
Percentages don't
right.
make sense.
No,
Okay, so it's either a partial or
well, we need to know what part.
how many.
So when you say a partial, is it the full upstairs? Well, then the appraiser already has the square feet of that upstairs.
Okay.
So then they can take care of that. Whether that equals, 33% or not, may not be right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
we need to know what it is,
Of the footage.
or what they're using it for. If it was a full level, then just say full upstairs. Or if it was half of the 4 rooms or 2 rooms being used for, like the apartments. Those apartments, I'm sure, are different sizes.
Yeah.
So, which we would know that. And so 2 of them, we know which 2 they are using it for hospital stuff, and we know the other ones are the other ones that are.
Okay.
So on their form, they're putting a percentage, which doesn't really help. On our form, we're just putting the word partial exemption. What should we be doing in your mind?
There's a lot of different scenarios. Some of it wouldn't be applicable to certain people, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do.
If one of us sat down with you sometime in a little workshop environment and we tried to rewrite this form, would that, so that it actually gets done instead of?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not in a public meeting setting, but just in a workshop form and try to rewrite the form to make sense, because we're granting partials to what they're asking partials, but partial doesn't say much. Okay, but we see no change, so we're okay. You okay with that?
Yeah.
Parcel ending in 002 alpha is 858 Commerce Drive, Smelterville. And I was looking, they're saying there's been no change in the use. But I don't see.
Yeah. The last time I was there, it was all doctor space for family practice.
Yeah, we're not aware of
I
changes.
think it's okay.
Commerce Drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just trying to keep all of these separate. I'm looking at what we did last year just to double check. But I don't see it. 002A. It's not listed in these 4 sheets. If you have it there.
Not last year's.
Okay. Sydney, why wouldn't we have last year's?
I don't know.
Um,
Is it on the back side of one of these? No.
I didn't see any double copy.
002.
One of those is Shoshone.
Is that 00? What's Shoshone? 002. It's right there. We'll give 100% exemption.
002 or 002?
Oh,
The beginning of the parcel number starts how?
This ends in 0020, and we're looking at a piece here marked 002A. But I can't find where we did last year's. But we gave it 100% exemption on 0020.
Well, it's on the approval.
Let's separate that.
What's on yours, Terry?
It's a full exemption, yeah.
Okay.
It's right here.
Okay, are
And
we
then-
okay with a full exemption on that?
Yes, I am.
So, I guess would entertain a motion that we grant their exemptions the same as last year with no change. Do we have any reason for a change on a piece?
Well, we still haven't talked about 1, 2, 3.
Which
4
one?
of them.
In that case,
Which 3 of them are used as hospital. One of them is the water tank. One is the doctor's clinic in Pinehurst.
Okay, 107 Church, Pinehurst. Is that the doctor's clinic?
No.
Okay.
00D, it ends in 00D.
They're all listed on this one sheet of paper for some. They were all listed with 100% exemption
Yeah,
for that.
7 of them.
Yeah,
So Commerce.
all 7 were listed at 100% exemption on this, to include the 107 Church. $815025 Jacobs Gulch. Is that the?
Yeah, that's another one that last year they had. That's. I have to look at a map, but I think that that's part of the maybe the parking lot or the. I don't know why they have.
And for some reason we listed them all on one sheet.
Right, and those all I agree with.
Okay.
Our office is not aware of any changes on those 7.
On those 7.
Right.
So that would be 5530, 5250, 5200, 0020, 002 Alpha, and 8150 and 000 Delta.
Correct.
We gave those 100% last year, and I don't see anything listed for change. So would you be okay with those pieces
Yes.
having the same exemption as last year? Okay. Then I'll just motion that the following parcels showing no change, the following parcels be granted 100% exemption for this year. Parcel ending in 5530, parcel ending in 5250, parcel ending in 5200, parcel ending in 0020, parcel ending in 002 Alpha, parcel ending in 8150, and parcel ending in 000 Delta. That those be granted 100% exemption, same as last year, no change. That's my motion.
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion? You agree with those?
Yes, with those. There's still a couple more to
Okay.
go.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. It's easier to go off of these than it is to go off of these applications.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What are the couple more that you're discussing? Because I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing one now.
Okay, so we should have 2425 as a partial. On the back side of one of the others, because it was on.
What's the street address?
That one,
That was Oregon.
204 Oregon Street.
Sorry. Yeah. Shoshone, Jacobs Gulch, Gondolier, Oregon. That would be the one in my other hand. Okay, they had saying that there's no change in the use of the property, and that part of it is leased. And they had requested the 41%. And last year, this is parcel ending in 2425. Last year we gave them a partial exemption. Do you have any reason for a change
A
there?
percentage, I don't know, but I'm not aware of any changes in the building. If there are, I'm not aware of it,
So no
it
reason
would
to
be just what we had last year.
partial exemption. And that's what they seem to be asking for again. Okay. So, I would motion that we take parcel 2425, ending in 2425, and grant it the same partial exemption that we granted last year.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And that was 2425. Terry, what do you have left showing?
Riverside Avenue and Robinson Avenue.
So,
Okay, onto the right sheet of paper. Okay, so Robinson Avenue parcel ends in 0030. This was a partial exemption last year. They're saying there's been no change in the use, that part of it is still leased. They had requested 75%. We just gave them a partial last year. Is there any reason to change from what we did last year?
I'm not aware of any changes, so
Whatever we did
if
last
they're
year.
saying 75% makes sense, there's 4 apartments, so
Okay.
if they're saying they're using 75% of it, that would be 3.
okay. Yeah.
They're using.
Okay. Then I would motion that we grant the parcel ending in 0030 at Robinson Avenue the partial exemption equal to what we did last year.
No second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That would bring us to Riverside. Okay, Riverside is the parcel 017 Alpha. Last year we gave them 2 units exempt, 1 unit not exempt. They're saying there's been no change. They're requesting, would appear to be about the same thing, 67%. You have aware of any change?
I'm not aware of any changes. And that is what we had last year, 2 exempt and 1 valued.
That makes sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Then I would motion that parcel ending in 017 Alpha on East Riverside Avenue be granted the 2 units exempt, 1 unit not exempt, same as last year.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Does that, by your list, cover the hospital properties?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
No.
Too many backsides of sheets got
Yeah,
me
might
going
have been
there.
easier just print them one-sided.
All right. West Shoshone Hospital, Realize Silver Valley. I count 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have a letter from them. So
Okay, so that goes with.
let's see, what did we do for them last year? Is that 1, 2, 3, 4? We gave them a partial exemption. The letter states the parcel number reference, which is 00 Alpha Alpha, above has had a partial exemption. Part of the parcel is rented by Brood Awakenings. The other portion of the parcel is where our church is located, requesting a continuation. So they're not requesting any change. And they're saying there's no change in use on any of these properties. And the one piece that they do lease out a part of to Brood Awakenings, they mentioned that. Last year we put all 4 on one approval order and gave them a partial exemption.
001A. Is that the one that had trees and whatnot on it?
Right.
Did we do a partial on that last year? I remember talking about it.
Yes.
But
Yes.
It's very hard to tell from our letter since all it says is we did a partial.
mm-hmm.
So it doesn't. Can you tell Terry what we did?
Mm-hmm.
How many square feet did we?
I don't have the square feet here.
But we did mark out some of the trees.
Right.
Okay. Would you recommend no change?
For the first 2 that you've talked about, yes.
So 001A would be a partial as well.
Yeah, that's the one where there's some trees. On the other one, on 00AA, there are some trees, also the cotton's not.
So would it make sense to do the same exemptions we did last year when we corrected it?
I am not aware of anything different, so I would say yes.
Okay. Because we did correct that one last year.
We did.
Okay.
So we have 3 parcels that are a partial. The third one you haven't talked about yet, and then municipal.
The third one, would that be the 0000? It's like
yes.
G04 and then a whole bunch of.
Which
Correct.
is the main church?
No.
It's the parking lot?
It's kind of strange. It's actually a tiny strip that goes all the way through. I don't know why they did what they did in the platting of this, but
And last year we had given that 100%?
no, partial, there's trees on it.
Partial because of the trees. Okay.
The church is on the one that ends in AB.
00AB. And did we give that partial, that PC?
I think we gave that 100%.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So if I'm hearing it right, we have no reason to change what we did last year.
No, there's one more parcel I haven't talked about yet, but
Okay.
you're right, it won't. I don't believe it needs to change either.
All right. Parcel ending in which one?
001A.
Okay.
Okay, I thought we agreed that was a partial because of the trees.
That one has trees. Actually, there's 3 of them like that.
So that would be a partial as well.
Yeah,
A partial parcel.
3 parts and 1 full.
Okay. So.
You have been missing some real fun here. So 3 partials and 1 full exemption. Same as last year. And the full exemption, help me again, is on which piece? Just so I.
It's on the 008.
AB.
The other 3 are partial.
Then I would motion that we grant them the same exemptions as last year with a full exemption on parcel ending in 00AB and a partial exemption on parcels ending in 0000, 00AA, and 001A.
Yeah, and I'll second.
Second that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Same as last year. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we've kept them the same as what we changed it last year. And that seems to be all they were requesting. But we do need to do something with that percent thing because their percentages don't even equal what we have done in the past. That's just an error on our form. Rural Life Ministries Pinehurst Golf Course. Pinehurst Golf Course looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 parcels. Does that line up with what you all have?
That's correct.
Okay. And is this the Pinehurst Golf Course?
That's a Shoshone. Let's move right down there.
They're saying no change in use of any properties.
The Pinehurst.
Okay. We had last year this 1625. Had golf cart storage and part of the clubhouse. Oh. Is it partial? Note I have.
They were requesting 100%, but last year we gave them a partial on that, correct?
I think so.
On 1625?
Yeah.
1625.
Yes, that is correct. We did give them only a partial because of what?
Of the golf cart.
The golf cart, yeah.
Yeah, and part of the clubhouse, and then the storage rentals that the public can use.
I remember you sent somebody out from your office. And,
Right.
how about the parcel ending in 7850? Was that
That in the past has been in Fairways, so it would be full.
full? Since we don't have our notes on this one.
Yeah.
The parcel ending in 4825?
Fairways,
So full.
correct.
And the parcel ending in 7855.
Also Fairways.
Okay. So they're saying no changes, and then of course they just put in the 100% requesting. But last year we gave a partial on 1625, so I would recommend we do the same as last year. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Does that make sense to your office? So I'm going to motion that we grant the same as last year, a partial exemption on parcel 1625, a full exemption on the parcel ending in 7850, a full exemption on the parcel ending in 4825, and a full exemption on the parcel ending in 7855.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Does that line up?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so matching the same as last year. Lutherhaven. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did we put all the hard ones up front this time?
Yes.
It seems like we have the more complex ones. We have 4 parcels, and we need a new word besides partial and parcel. Okay, this is a challenge. We have 4 parcels. We gave partial exemptions last year. Every one of these is written a little different. We did a partial exemption on the parcel ending in 7900. Does that line up, Terry?
No. On 7900.
Mm-hmm.
That's Shoshone Base Camp.
29214 Coeur d'Alene River Road.
So did we give 100% to that one? Maybe it's the way this is written. Partial exemptions as follows. Approved, 7900, 001 alpha, 1500, 1400. Denied, 1300.
That's what you did last year, yeah.
That's what we did last year. But
Okay.
do you see any reason for change on any of those parcels?
I can't remember the one.
I don't, not that I see any change, but this is the base camp one, and you know where that's at.
Mm-hmm.
This is 1400 and 1500. There's a cabin right there, and this is bare land, and that's 24.97 acres right here.
And we gave them 100% on that?
That's what we did last year. So if that's what you're wanting, it goes across the road. So these two, it's bare land with almost 25 acres. This one has a cabin on it with over 4 acres.
And what would be our reason for giving if we did a partial? Because they've got a cabin? Or because it's bare land and they're not?
Well, last year you you did on the cabin, and then when you got to this one, you just said, just give it to him. I don't know.
Let's blame it on Jeff. He's not here. I don't remember why
What
we
are
did
they
that.
requesting?
They're requesting 100%
What
on
are
all
they
of
using it for?
everything.
Religious.
And they're marking
Versus
religious.
There's also a lot of trees on that one big parcel, right?
Mm-hmm.
20 some acres.
It's bare. That's all trees. That's all trees. That's trees. That's trees. And there's a bunch of trees there too.
Okay.
What would be our options historically? I mean, besides just approving it or disapproving it, what else can we do? Can you?
I don't exactly remember how many years ago, but this was in an individual's name before. So there wasn't coming up against this.
Oh,
It hasn't been forever. This was
so
owned by-
somebody donated the land to them or
I'm
something.
assuming something to do it. It changed from, but I don't remember without going and looking how long ago that was.
And has there been a physical inspection?
They were up there this last year, but without me going and looking, I don't know if they physically found anyone at the cabin, and if they spoke to anyone. I don't know that answer. I can look, but off the top of my head, I don't know.
I think, I want to say that I tried to follow up with them last year to define what that cabin was being used for. And I want to say they gave me the retreat scenarios.
Do you want to do that again, or what is your thinking? We have a large chunk of land
we
and we
could
don't
follow
know
up
the use.
again, but that huge chunk with all the trees. That's just a lot of land. So that's the 1400 with the big field and all the trees, and that parcel goes out into that other piece.
Yes, it's the road is just drawn in, so that's separation, but it's
Okay.
this whole piece and this whole piece. This is the one with the cabin on it.
Okay. I would think that we could only do a partial on that. With the amount of trees on it. Is that your thought?
I have to.
Don't we need to know what they're using it for?
Well, I thought they were supposed to be broken to you guys.
But they don't. There's no place on the form for them to really, other than just to say it's for religious.
So, I would suggest that I would like to follow up and have more.
Are you going to follow up
Definition
with
of-
Rebecca Smith?
Yeah. I believe I had to last year, but
It sounds like we need more information on what they're using it for, because they only have their choice here to mark from these 5 categories. And of course they're just marking the form, but they're not giving us any explanation. There's no place on the form for them to do that.
yeah.
Another thing that we might want to adjust on this form. Okay. All right. So we will table Lutherhaven pursuant to you following up to find out a little bit more about those 2 parcels.
Yes.
Okay.
The other one that they applied for that's in your hands is parcel 1300, and that was denied last year.
The parcel ending in 1300,
Correct.
and we denied it last year.
There's
And
a
there's-
picture. Here again is the piece, the road, the big acreage, the cabin, and over here is 1300.
And we denied that.
Last year you did. They have an application, they crossed off a parcel number, which if you look at that parcel number, it's another one. Look at the one that they crossed.
001 Alpha.
And that's a church in Ellsbury.
That's a what?
Church in Ellsbury.
And they crossed it off. Do you want to add that to the list of mysteries that you're going to ask them about?
Yeah, I just made a note here.
So at this point, they're not applying for anything for the church in Osprey? Unless they've accidentally forgotten their...
Not that I've seen.
Okay. I'm okay with tabling all four of theirs until you talk to them and get some clarity. Is that all right with you?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so we'll table the 4 Lutherhaven parcels while we get a little more information. Then we have Kingston Baptist Church, which only has 1 parcel. Marking for religious, no change in the property use according to those. And
I don't have a letter, but you guys did full.
we did a full last year because isn't this the church itself? Okay. So you see any reason for a change?
No reason.
Okay.
So I'm going to move that we give a full exemption to the parcel ending in 7390, the Kingston Baptist Church in Kingston.
Okay, I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so that one was, how'd that get in the pile? It's awfully simple. Okay. And then by this list, we have Kellogg Elks, which I only have the 1 piece for in 008 Alpha, which
No
we gave
changes.
100% last year, and there's been no change. Does that line up with what you've got? Okay. Do we see any reason for any changes there?
No.
Okay.
I'll move to approve 008A full exemption.
Okay, second that. No comments from your department on that one? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so we have approved the Kellogg Elks exemption. And that is all on the list for today. We got all the fun ones here. Okay, so the only one that we're following up with right now that we didn't take action on are the properties by Lutherhaven.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any?
On these forms too, I'd like to add email addresses with their any
Okay.
contact avenues, because I've had a hard time, I think, in the past trying to reach
Let
my
me
phone.
just ask, would you be willing to sit down with Terry in a off the record thing and just propose a more accurate form?
Yeah.
Or more useful form?
Yes.
Okay.
I know we intended last year, but I think between
Well,
changes in staff.
and we kept changing staff. Yeah. Okay. All right. With that, do you have anything else from your office?
No.
Okay. I think we are recessed.